All right, good afternoon, traders. Today's September 4th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you all my members that are here in the room, paying subscribers. Appreciate that. Don't take that for granted. Try to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you, everybody. Special shout out to John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy Sour Roasted. Thank you for sharing the content. Thank you for spreading the good word. Thank you for joining me on my trading journey. All right, today, nice trend day. How I made $55K with a 665 account. Okay, almost 10%. Almost, not bad. All right, remember I'm only after about 1% per day. Markets, yep, they're still bullish. All right, so let's take a look at price action for today. Okay, so this morning we had pre-market consolidation over post-market consolidation. That's a bullish environment. We had post-market consolidation over yesterday's open market consolidation. That's a bullish environment. So we had double bullish environment clues this morning, okay? Not to mention price holding the higher ground. Beautiful structure today, okay, on SPY. So it was nice trade. All we had to do was mark off the upside, mark off the downside, and you can see the upside was breached. We traded the upside, and then we got ourselves into a trend day. Okay, trend day is when the 10-minute uptrend is over VWAP between the hours of 11 and noon. So we had a nice 10-minute uptrend. Now, okay, it's no secret, all right? I say it about 100 times. I like, and I said it before we opened, I like a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP that's inside a 2-hour uptrend, that's inside a daily uptrend, inside a weekly uptrend, inside a monthly uptrend. Okay, that's what I like. Steve, 49% today. OMG, Steve. Holy smokes. You kicked butt. Love it, Steve. Way to go. Steve, wow, you're gonna get the Greedy Pig Award for sure today. Way to go, Steve. Love it. So that's 49 daily goals. That's incredible. Wow. Love it. Love it. Love it. Holy cow. Yeah, way to go. All right, so I like that 10-minute uptrend over VWAP inside the 2-hour, inside the daily. That's inside the weekly. That's inside the monthly. Yes, I love it. I told you I was going to trade every single one, every little red candle. I was going to buy the pullback as long as, this is my caveat, as long as the bearish 10-minute rubber band candle was never breached, okay? That's my caveat. I'm going to buy them all unless that candle is breached right there. Yeah, way to go, Steve. You deserve it. Congrats on that. Nice trading. All right, so there's SPY on a 15-minute uptrend. Take a look at the 10-minute. Yes, we have a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. Our first target was 647.87. Second target was the gap fill. That was 648.86. All right, let's take these off of here. This was the pre-market. This is the opening range. We breached both the pre-market and the opening range with one candle. That was the candle to buy in. Bullish. Green erases red right there. So we bought this candle, and you can see we were nicely rewarded here with the 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Now I like it when that 10-minute uptrend, which consists of the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA and the price candles, okay? So you got those three up over VWAP right here, peeling away from VWAP. Notice the separation happening here where price is ripping further and further away from the VWAP. Okay, that's a bullish environment. Love that. Okay, for me, that's my favorite trade. Seeing price 10-minute uptrend where price and the trap are peeling away from VWAP. That's the brown line right there. Okay, so there's SPY. 2 hour, yes, the 2 hour is also started out in an uptrend and went at the beginning of the day, still in 2 hour uptrend. Okay, for SPY. All right, still in that 2 hour uptrend. Daily chart. Take a look at the daily chart. We'll zoom out here. Okay, you can see we're up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Okay, we have not broken any lows, so we're still in an uptrend. So bullish and still in an uptrend for SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart. See all the green dots? Okay, bullish, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart. Bullish, see all the green dots? Bullish and still in an uptrend. All right, price is looking good. Okay, so there's SPY on the monthly, the weekly, the 2 hour, and the daily. Okay, rocking and rolling there on SPY. Okay, so what did we trade today? Mostly all calls. Okay, so that's it. Mostly all calls. You can see everything I traded. Okay, it's right here. Okay, I had a call spread, call debit spread. Okay, so I lost 9,700 on those, but I gained it on, where is it? Should be here somewhere, where I made 11K. There it is. It's hidden down there. Oh, I got the little bit more. Okay, so these puts and these puts kind of canceled each other out. So that was the call spread. So I converted my puts into a call spread and canceled out, actually making a little bit of profit on the call spread. Okay, traded some 647 0 DTE calls. Now when I bought those were out of the money calls. Okay, and let me just say, by the time I closed them out, they had intrinsic value in them, because you can see price is all the way up here at 649.20 right now. So I made 4,600 on those, 700 on these 650 calls. Again, I bought those at the end of the day. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. Okay, bought those at the end of the day for price to rip higher. Okay, on the 4,600, you can see here I bought the lows, sold the highs of the candles. All right, on a 5-minute chart, bought the lows, got that 10-minute uptrend was still intact, so I bought the lows of the 5-minute option candles and sold the highs. You can see all the red dots up on top of the blue ones. The blue ones are the buys. The red ones are the sells as I sold into strength into this rally right here. It's a 0 DTE, so I definitely did not want to be sitting on this near closing time. Nice trend day right there. Okay, 300 again on some IWM calls. Okay, made bottom right here, saw the 10-minute uptrend, and I sold into strength on those. QQQ bought the dip and sold into strength on that 10-minute uptrend for QQQ. Okay, managed to ink out 4,400 on those. Lost 334 on the IWM calls. Not to worry, I made it up with some other calls over here. Okay, the 240 calls right there. So I lost 334 right there. I was underwater with those at the beginning of the day. So I sold some off, reloaded, sold some off, and didn't reload, but I happened to just went to my webinar and then sold some more off into this rally right here. So nice work on IWM. 4,900 on the 645 1 DTE calls. Again, buying the dip, selling the peaks of the option. All right, this is the option candle. So selling the peaks of that option candle, buying the dips as price pulls back, and selling again into strength. Okay, 300 on some 660 calls. 8 days till expiration. Again, bought those at the end of the day. Sold them into strength here, coming in at the end of the day. 2,600 on some 651 calls. Again, buying the dip and selling into strength. Buying the dip, selling into strength. And it didn't get a satisfactory pullback all day. All right. Well, I'd love to have reloaded, but they didn't give us the pullback. Okay, 3,600 on some ADTE calls. Okay, so I made price I bought the low, sold the high, and reloaded with the lows down here. Okay, so there's 3,600 on those, 9,900 on the 600 strike calls that are 15 days till expiration. Again, I bought the breakout and sold into strength right there. 121, already owned it, and I sold into strength as price was rising right there. 675 calls, 29 bought right here into the consolidation and sold into strength right there. So the price is still ripping to the upside. Loss 31 on some gold. Again, I bought right here and I made money on the ones that I purchased. All right. It comes in as a negative because my cost basis, price gap down this morning. All right, so there it is on that. Let's take a look at QQQ. We can move this over to the side. That happened to be 56K right here for today. Not a bad day. Remember, I only want 1%. If you want to know how I get my 1%, this is my trade log. I kind of keep track of everything I buy and sell. All right, so price goes over here. This is where I left off, 665. All right, so I needed to make $6,550 to make my 1%. I made 5,600, 56,000. So that more than exceeded my 1% right there. Okay, so that was my goal for the day, was 6,550. Made 56K. So that was a good day. That was a nice day. All right, so there's BYOB. This is where we're up to. This was the open house. And by the way, I want to remind everybody, we're going to have open house. See if I can find it. And I don't see the open house sign. I had an open house plaque, but now it's gone. But not to worry. I know where there's another one. Okay. And I have another one right here. Okay, I want to remind everybody, open house Monday, September 8th, from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Open house in the BYOB Trading Room. Just want to remind you that in the past 5 open houses or more, okay, we have managed to ink out 1%. I'll be starting a new $27,000 account on the open house on Monday, the 8th, okay? It's free to attend. In other words, no charge, but you got to register to attend. They'll send you the credentials in the mail to get in. That'll be email. And what am I going to say? That's it right there. I'll leave the link in the description of the video. All right. All right. So price action for QQQ. Let's look at the day. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross or bullish trap over the 17 EMA. That's bullish. Still in an uptrend on QQQ. FNGU looking good today. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend because it hasn't made a higher high, but coming very close. Okay, still in a downtrend, hasn't made a higher high. Made a higher low, but not the higher high yet. Okay, but the good news is since making the lower low right here, okay, price, all right, has been either moving up or moving to the right. Okay, so it's a failed downtrend or a downtrend that's not working. Okay, so there's FNGU closing over the trap. So that's bullish, consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, but still technically in that downtrend till it makes a higher high. That's FNGU on the daily chart. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Again, that is bullish and still in an uptrend right there on IWM. Here's the quad lines. It's the April low. This is where we are, consolidating up here in quadrant 4. That is a bullish outlook for IWM. All right, bullish outlook on IWM, SPY, QQQ, and FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow is that a new all-time? Nope. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, consolidating up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and also in an uptrend. What day is open house? It is Monday, September 8th at 8 a.m. You know when I start? 8 a.m. Okay? September 8th. You got it, John. Thank you for sharing. All right, and what else do we have? We got AVGO is going to report after the close today. That is a market mover, all right? So be careful with that one. We could go down hard. We could go up hard. Either way. Could flip either way. Or we could just continue melting up. I'll take that just as well. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at a few other, let's take a look at some of the commodities, okay? Silver. Okay, silver for today's candle. Lower high. Okay, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, still in an uptrend, still bullish at the top of quadrant 4. GLD, lower high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, okay, over the rising 17, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Price action, consolidating so far. It's only 2 candle consolidation. But anyways, up at the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish and in an uptrend right there. UNG. Okay, UNG at the bottom down here in the, well, actually in the middle of quadrant 1. Okay, so that's bearish. Anything in the lower third is bearish. Okay, bearish down here. And still in a downtrend. If they take out this high, they will negate the downtrend. Still currently UNG in a downtrend and bearish. I just want to let you know that this is even though price is moving up, this is called a pullback in the downtrend. Okay, you notice the price is not moving lower, it's moving higher. So this is a pullback in the downtrend for UNG. Okay, you see a little bit of bullish attitude going on there on UNG. Today's candle, outside day, meaning a higher high and a lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the flat 17 EMA. That's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. The USO, lower high, lower low, closing underneath bearish trap. And of course, they're no longer in an uptrend because you see this low that dips below the 17. They made a lower low, so there's a valley, and they made a lower low. So that puts them back into the downtrend. Again, price action for USO has a habit of moving up and giving it up. Move up, give it up. See? Up, give it up. Again, up and give it up. Okay? So just can't seem to hold that higher ground. But the good news is they're on the bullish side of the midpoint, and they are up over this 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's slightly bullish, but still not able to hold the higher ground. Okay, so there's USO. Not bad as UNG. Okay, but maybe that's what those all those EVs that we sold in the past. Maybe it's now just catching up to the oil fund. We'll see what happens. Okay, but right now, USO neutral and in a downtrend. Okay, but not moving down severely. All right, so there's USO. Take a look at the technicals, T2122. Melting off, losing some breath here, losing some participation. Okay, so whatever was trading today that brought us to these highs, looks like it was very few participants working with a few products. Okay, to bring us these highs, meaning that it probably was all very closely concentrated in those weighted FNGU and weighted securities inside the FNGU, so those heavily weighted ones. So if I look over here, I can see that Amazon has gone up 9 point. Net change was $9, so it's not 9%. If I don't have, let's see if I got the percentage. No, I don't have the percentage. Okay, so it went up $9 on a $235 account. AVGO up $2.50 on a $300 price point right there. Microsoft Apple up $1.23 on a $239 price point stock right there. And Berkshire Hathaway up $798. Okay, remember that is a $785,000 security. Okay, big pricey security there. Okay, and let's take a look around the horn, see if we got any Microsoft here. I don't see it, but anyways, pretty much concentrated on the large cap stocks that drag price up today. So there's T2101 losing some of the market breadth. I hope we're not going to roll over. Okay, I hope the bull's going to get inspired. But we did come all the way back up to challenge those highs today that were made earlier last week. Okay, T2122. Yes, we find ourselves back into the buy zone. Kind of what I thought would happen this morning and last night. With that higher high and the higher low that we left off with yesterday. So you can see we left off with price action consolidating right inside the buy zone, and of course making a small appearance inside the overbought zone, making the bears uncomfortable right here as we peek our head through the door or through the window into the overbought zone. That's T2122. That is bullish. Anytime we make higher lows and higher highs, that's bullish up there. Okay, let's take a look at T2123. OMG, another new rally high, new rally high, new all-time high. Okay, for T2123. Again, bullish gap never got filled by the bears. Okay, so that's bullish from minute 1 till the last minute of the day. Up over that 200 SMA, that's bullish as well. Okay, notice we're holding the higher ground on each one of these days. See the hold of the higher ground, the hold of the higher ground, holding the higher ground, holding this bullish gaps open, not letting them get filled. That is very bullish structure. Whenever those bullish gaps aren't getting filled, that is a bullish environment. So more bullishness coming tomorrow from what I see. I don't see any sign of exhaustion yet. We may gap up tomorrow. I'm curious if we're going to gap and go and make an even bigger candle, or if we're going to gap up and fade. We'll see what happens. It's options expiration Friday. This is a short week because we had Monday off, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. T2123. Okay. Keep in mind on Fridays, it's typical for the market maker to kind of pin price to a certain number to inflict max pain, or actually to hedge his holdings for the weekend. All right, so it's very possible at noon things are done and we flatline, consolidate all the way into the close. We'll see. There's a possibility, all right? Not saying that that's going to happen, but that did happen last week, and it may happen. I think it happened again the previously Friday before that last weekend. So we'll see what happens. This is T2123, 15-minute, okay? Bullish, still in an uptrend. 3-bar chart, okay? New all-time high. Of course, that's bullish. Drop the mic. Nothing else doesn't get any better than that. Closing over the 200 SMA, that's bullish. Closing up at the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish and still in an uptrend. Notice we haven't made any lower lows. So T2123, bullish, still in an uptrend right there. That's the cumulative 4-week new high, new low ratio right there. So that's very bullish up there. FNGU. You can see here it is right here. When these boys move as a pack, there's actually 10 products, 10 securities inside this ETN. It's called FNGU, okay? Now, when those are some of the most heavily weighted securities inside QQQ and SPY. Now, when they move as a pack, okay, kind of doesn't matter what the rest of the market is doing. They can drag that index in whatever direction they're moving. Could be to sideways, could be up, could be down. You can see definitely today they were moving up, all right? So looking for a continuation of this uptrend because I don't see any exhaustion yet. So looking for a continuation tomorrow in SPY, QQQ, and FNGU, as well as IWM. Still looking fantastic. All right, so looking for more upside tomorrow. We'll see. It's an options expiration day, so anything can happen. We'll see what they want to do. That's FNGU. Okay, let's take a look at, actually, that's it for the day. Okay, I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and hopefully get another nice trend day. Amazon's up 4.29%. Okay, so see, I'm telling you, the big cap securities are what help provide the rally and the juice to this upward challenge to the last all-time high. Okay, so we're up there and we are challenging the prior all-time high. Today, what an amazing day. It was a beautiful day. Well received by all traders. Looking forward to it coming back to the highs. So that was nice. Okay, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Okay, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you. AVGO beat. Okay, price is still kind of lingering, not taking off yet. Tomorrow morning we have the employment situation. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, I saw some employment numbers earlier today. They weren't in line, but I gotta say they weren't bad. All right, so that's what I saw from my perspective. Now, what the market thinks could be totally different. All right, but from my perspective, they weren't bad at all. Still waiting for QQQ to make the new all-time high. That's the last one was August 13th. Yes, agree with you, Junie. Looking for that FNGU and the QQQ to make a new all-time high. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. All right, traders, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's do it again, all right? Appreciate that. Oh, and if you want today's video, okay, it is, let me show you where today's video is. All right, today's video is located, okay, in the room here. All right, hit the hamburger, go to archives, go to recordings, and here it is. See 9/4. Here's today's recording right here. Okay, should be right there. There it is. Okay, it was cut short because we had the Three Amigos webinar at noon, so I had to turn it off. All right, so we could go to the webinar at noon, and we had a 3-hour webinar. And it was an hour from Doug, an hour from me, and an hour from Rick. All right, so fantastic right there. And we recorded it. Okay, so you'll find that in the member section up here under resources, and you come down to e-learning replay. This is for members only. Okay, oh, there it is already up there. Boy, that guy's fast. Ed did that. Thank you, Ed. All right, so well done. All right, don't forget, open house Monday, September 8th. It's free to attend. Okay, get all the free training you can get. Free to attend. I'll see you all it's at 8 o'clock, and the link will be in the description of the video. Okay, see everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock, to end this short week. Nice short week. Like the short weeks.